If you don't have money, don't date. As a man, as a woman, if you are broke, don't date.
Yes, I'm not saying this to judge people who are not financially great, to say that, oh, as a man, if you don't have money, your life don't matter, or you shouldn't love.
Sometimes when a man says, okay, not just men, I
Even
think
women,
we are
people, a lot
basing
of
this
people do
on
it.
men, because when we base these things on men, it now looks as if it is only a man that has to build himself. Women, like we said, women do that too.
To the dish on Lagos Talks 91.3. I am Olaoluwa Well, the news lady, and of course the ladies are here. Hi, Chizoba and
I know even fit
Patricia.
talk. I know even fit
Hi,
talk with what is
Lagos.
going on right now. As in, I can't even give you guys my normal greeting. I am just shocked and perplexed.
Which of the things we have said here shocks you more?
No, let me
Everything.
let me just talk about it. This is what we've been talking about for a while now. We've been reacting to the controversy around the Nigerian videographer Femi Dabson, who recently on a podcast talked about how he had to, when he first met his wife, he had to just take some time away to go make a whole lot of money so that he can be the man, that he really wants to be. Then before he approached her and they started dating and all of that. And he even talked about how he was driving like a rackety Avalon at that point in time, and he had to go and step up so that he can show up well and be with her. And of course, a number of Nigerian men didn't take this really lightly. They felt like he bought her with money. And if you buy a woman with money, you're gonna have to keep buying her all through the relationship, and that it's not genuine love. They felt like he's a simp and whatever it is. So we are talking about that, and we're also getting some reactions from the radio listeners. Of course, the ladies have had their take. You still want to say
I want to say
something?
something. I want to say something at this point, because I don't know. Most girls, when they want to attain a certain level, if maybe they are from very humble backgrounds and they want to ascertain or get to a certain level, they go as far as touching up their skin. I'm not talking about the ones that do BBL. They touch up their skin, try to use good body lotion, try to do good hair, try to make themselves step up. Some even go as far as going to diction schools, doing all those things so that they attain to a particular level. Some even have to do financial literacy classes because they are like, I know where I'm coming from. I don't want to have that circle of friends around me. And she steps up. Please, what is your take on it? Are you one of those people that will say that the reason why she's doing that is so that she will get sugar daddy?
Confidence or something.
So I think one of the reasons why we as women find nothing wrong with what he said and what he did is because it's kind of like our own normal life. An average woman, we invest a whole lot in our looks and in ourself. And when you see, it's just like saying that a woman who aside to appear in a certain way. I know someone
do courses, go back to school,
I know
do a lot of
someone
things.
who literally had to go and learn phonetics. She just wanted to change the way she speak. I'm even currently in that space right now. I believe in evolving, not just for myself,
because just so that you do to be the best in your field, to upgrade, to do. I don't understand. Is it bad?
It's not even just for myself. Yes, for man. Yes, I will say it today. I do it for man.
Because
there's a kind of man. There's a standard of man
that you attract,
that you want. So you also want to come correct. We do this all the time. You want to look good. You want to talk well. You want to be intelligent. You want to be the person that is able to have conversations with him. You want to be the person that is able to contribute something. So we are gradually stepping up. Whether you call it in looks, whether it looks very superficial, whether you call it materialistic, it's kind of what we women do.
And
that's why I don't expect some man
to just come anyhow.
Like
you come correct.
And that's why it looks as if, as women sometimes, if a man, it looks as if we judge when a man is not of a particular level.
If a man is below you.
No, because you don't want to consider him.
Because
I know you know, maybe because you just see women and you see women look pretty. Pretty is expensive.
Pretty is expensive.
Women invest in a whole lot. There's a whole lot that goes into women, even when they look natural. There's a whole lot that goes into women showing up beautiful, women looking beautiful.
Is it just looking beautiful? Do you know that intellectually, like one day I sat down, if I calculate how much I have spent on because I spend more money on my intellectual development, the second way you know where I spend money, shoes, handbags, and then clothes, because when I buy the clothes, I'm buying one clothes, and at the back of my mind, this clothes you better stay for like 3-4 years and still be good, something that when I wear, people still say, okay, you look nice, you look presentable. And so I spend, because for me, I'm looking at this guy and I'm seeing an intentional guy. I'm seeing somebody that, and I won't be surprised if tomorrow I hear that maybe he's in London Business School or something. I would not be surprised.
No, I mean,
I won't be surprised.
It might even have done that, because there was another part of the interview, where he was talking about how he recently just gave a client a quote for like a music video, and it's about 260 million naira.
I won't be surprised.
And, you know, that's how he rolls now.
See, guys,
he has whatever investment he has made
invested in himself
between the time he met the girl and between the time he got the girl.
And
even if you think it's for the girl, but it's also for himself. It's mainly for himself.
It's for himself.
That's a guy. I see a guy that has allowed himself to be inspired and motivated. And for those who don't, because it's actually a lot of work, there are a number of men, I think, they don't want to do
the work.
So you rather criticize.
So that when you criticize, then you get your cronies that will come and support you. You feel good about yourself. But don't forget that I always say that, and even nature shows that you are not stagnant. What you're doing is that you are regressing. In 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, you will see other people, and you are the same kind of people that you will see other people doing well, and you say this person is doing well because his daddy's friend is a politician. This person is doing well because his uncle daddy's friend is criminally minded. You are the same kind of people that will say this.
And another thing I wanted to bring out from all of this is just that, you know, there are people who talk about how a man's true color shows when he has money.
That's true.
You know, some women say you don't really know a man.
I know somebody that said that
he has money.
I know somebody that said don't bring a poor man, because a poor man, yes, we can see some traits, but we don't really know what he's doing. But when he's comfortable, bring him, because we want to see the way he treats the gate man, the way he treats the cook, the way he treats everybody, and then we're able to ascertain that this person
is his true nature.
This is his true nature.
And I'm not saying this to judge people who are not financially great, to say that, oh, as a man, if you don't have money, your life don't matter, or you shouldn't love, because, you know, having money also depends. It's relative. Yes. You know, 1 million naira is money. 1 billion naira is money.
100,000 is also money.
10,000 is
money. Also money.
You know, all of these are money. But you see, even if 100,000 is what you have today, some people still don't want to believe that. You think you know who you are. We'll wait till you have 1 billion. In fact, me, I'll pray for you. I'll join you in prayer so that you can have 10 million or 100 million or 1 billion or whatever it is. You yourself, when you have that money, you will now realize that the person that you think you were when you had 10,000 naira is not really who you are. So sometimes when people tell you this, because you have 10,000 naira, then you will feel offended. For me now, I don't think who I am today is who I can be, or all that I am.
No.
And I'm not saying it that people should wait till they are all that they can be, or till they have 1 billion naira to be in a relationship or to approach a woman. But what I'm saying is that for example, if I meet a man right now that, let's say, he has 1 naira, and I love him and I want to marry him, trust me, I'm going to marry him with the intentions that I don't really know him yet. that this man is still evolving.
Yes.
I don't really know him yet.
Anything could change.
Anything can change.
Anything can change. You know, when we're even young, as teenagers, my brother used to say something, because I just have one brother, and he used to say something. He used to tell us as girls. Then nobody even knew the direction we're going to go to. But he said then that he is a boy, where we tell us, don't bring any man to this house so that he will say he did not build. At least let him even do foundation. Let him even, that's when I mean foundation, not physical foundation,
Like,
his life.
let him get his life.
His
to a
life,
point.
that let him even build foundation, and then when he build the foundation, they should start doing it. Maybe it's even LinkedIn level, then he should even come with the plan. So when we look at the plan on paper, we enter the building that he's building, we're able to say, okay, this guy is even on path. He says, see, somebody just come and say potential, that is a man. Oh, he will tell us as his sisters, don't marry potential. Oh, let him build to LinkedIn level,
And that's why
let us see
I
whether he's even building.
believe in people who have a standard they want to bring to a relationship, like a standard of relationship. For some people will be like, you see, before I can get into a marriage, I want to at least get to this point. Even that point self is not all that you can achieve. You know that?
Yes.
So even in that marriage, this guy is probably still hustling. He's probably even still not as rich as
he imagines or he can be.
You get what I'm saying now? But all I see these people doing is, but this is the standard. This is where I want to start my relationship from.
And it's not bad.
Anything below this, let me quickly first of all go and focus.
Exactly.
And go and put the materials in place. When I have them, we can begin to build a relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And also because he knows that if he hasn't gotten to that standard which he wants, he can also lose focus.
Yes.
You understand? So sometimes when a man says, okay, not just men, I think we are basing this on men. Because when we base these things on men, it now looks as if it is only a man that has to build himself. Women, like we said, women do that too. Now, there are people that go into relationships without intention. They just want to go there. They just want to see however it turns out, or anywhere where breeze carriers go, we go, right? But there are still people that they look at the long term. And then for those that don't really have an ulterior motive or bad intentions, they are going into this relationship with the mindset that, okay, this would work out for us. Tomorrow, maybe this is the woman I want. And so they are before getting into that relationship, they've been able to put in some level of work, knowing that, okay, once I am here, we begin to, build each other.
Do you know there are women who do that? So there are women who would not marry unless they've had a job, or they have some kind of money, or they set up a business, or they have a level of education.
No, but last week I said
there were some women back then in uni that they would refuse to even have a boyfriend just so that they could focus on their education and get to a particular level. In fact, do you know most parents growing up as women, most of our parents wanted us to just turn our eyes away from men first
and focus
on your education. When you now have your education, then you can now say,
I want to
marry
or bring boyfriend or whatever.
So when men now do that,
this is not a problem.
Then why is it a problem? Why is it low self-esteem?
Exactly. Last week I was saying this thing, and I gave an example of myself, that I had people that were coming around, and at the point my parents were thinking that I was choosy, but I knew what I wanted. I wanted a particular level of financial safety net. For whatever reason, I always wanted it. I wanted to get to a particular level. I wanted to have a direction for my own life, because I felt, and I still believe, that for me, and that's why for me, anybody's pathway is your pathway, your success is your success. For me, I felt that if I had a direction and a man comes, it's easy for me to know that, okay, this is his own direction, and then we can fuse our directions together. Not without a direction, you come. Basically, you be without direction, and then two of us will now be driving a chaotic house and all. And so for me, I still say that, and I believe in one chase 1,000, two chase 10,000. If you don't have money, don't date. As a man, as a woman, if you are broke, don't date. But if you don't have a direction or you don't have anything you want to attain, and two of you are broke, you can marry. Some people have 10 children because out of the 10 children, one of them may blow or two. Yes.
And then those things, before the child gets to that point of blowing, community suffers for it.
Yes, no.
All right, let's take some comments here. We have
hello, ladies of the dish. Linus here. Great show today. Linus here from Lekki. As usual, another fascinating topic. So I know emotions are really high because Nigerian men are not really pleased with Femi Dapson. But I think it's important we have you guys, you ladies on the dish, have a balanced conversation and put things in proper perspective. Finances are very important for any kind of relationship. Nobody's denying that. But to me, the Femi Dapson story is actually kind of disturbing, because think about it. What kind of men have been in her life since he's been waiting? So you've been infatuated and obsessed with this one girl. So it means your game is not tight. Why? Because you didn't go and talk to any other chick. You didn't try any other chick, prior to that. You, at least in that story, it's not clear that you went after any other woman. And the Nigerian men, there's a few Nigerian men that do this, but it needs to stop. An obsession with a particular woman. There are many women with incredible faces, incredible bodies, great personalities, women that might not even have the look, but they are your type. Somehow their aura, their energy is what you're feeling. So, emotions can be really high, but I think it's important we have balanced conversations. His own ideology of waiting to get money, then he went and spoke to the chick. It means you don't think you're a person of value, or you have any kind of relevance on the planet when it comes to women if you don't have money. That means if they put you a customer sales and service, you will not be able to have confidence to speak to people if you don't have. And I actually know 2 or 3 guys like that. One of them stayed in the UK, he's Nigerian. I'm not going to mention his ethnic group. And then another one, because that's not relevant. And then another one is a born and bred Nigerian guy. And I'm like, these people have low self-esteem. So it's about confidence. What is your confidence tied to? Your confidence is tied to your bank account. That means without that bank account, you cannot approach women. That means you also have the potential to be abusive to women, because the arrogance and confidence and braggadocious, abrasive personality you have is coming from the fact that you feel you now have money. So prior to you having money, you didn't have any confidence. That confidence can also make you think, who is this chick? I beg, I'm going to leave her. You're not leaving her because you don't like her character. You're leaving her because you think you're too much. It's the same way you're getting her because you think you're too much. So, what I mean by you're too much is you have a lot of money. So it's not a balanced conversation you ladies are having there. You need to have finances, but for you to say you waited, it's a disturbing story. So the girl was being stalked, being monitored for.
Okay,
so can I respond to that? Can I quickly respond to that? Let me quickly respond to that.
All right.
Linus, number one, let me start from the beginning. A lot of females do not want to marry men that have body counts. Let me start from that. I, for one, am one woman who does not want my husband to have body count. Okay. It is disturbing to me. That's number one. Number two, I, for one, I am disciplined, and I believe that my husband should be disciplined. I believe that you must not. Let me use this illustration. I had a child in school. When I say a child, I teach in children church. I've always been in children department since I turned 14. I had this child in school, handsome guy, doing well, fine child. Like, this guy is handsome. And one day, somebody came to meet me. In fact, something happened. He threw a party. Somehow, the teenagers, they all came and exposed themselves, and everybody were confessing their part in the sin. But one thing stuck out. And one of the things was that they told me that he had a girlfriend.
Oh.
How old was he?
You were 14 at that point.
No. This was one of my early generation children. The guy was 18.
He was 18 then. Yes. And you were 14.
No. I was now an auntie now.
Okay.
I started teaching in children's church by 14, but now I'm their auntie. So that's why I'm trying to give you, like, I have some kids that are 20.
So the guy is 18.
So the guy was 18 then. And that's why the teenagers came, they reported themselves to me, and this guy had a girlfriend. Now, I know that this boy had always told me that he was not going to date any girl till he turned 26.
Wow.
And he explained why. He said, Auntie, because I have one-on-one conversation with my kids. If they tell me this child did this, I know the children. Forget that they are 60-something or something in church every Sunday. This guy had a plan. He wanted to build himself. He was even doing all these engineering courses. And then by the time he goes to 26, he would have started working. He would be done with school by 2021, go to serve, and then he would do his masters. He would build himself. And he said when he's 26, he's going to date. And the reason why he's going to date at 26 is that whoever he dates by 28, they will get married. He is not doing all those 5 years courtship. He feels that 2 years is enough. Whether the girl is also 26 with him or whatever, 2 years is enough, and he's going to settle down and get married. And he
said this to you when he was 18.
No, he told me this when he was 16 or 14.
Even younger than
when he was younger. Yeah. He told me this is his plan. Now, the meaning is that if he gets to 26 and he is not as stable as he feels that he should be, he is going to now, and he sees somebody he wants to get married to who he feels is a right fit, he's going to double his hustle because he's not ready to fornicate. He will double his hustle and ensure that he gets married to that person because he wants to get married as a virgin. And I teach my kids, get married as a virgin. Now you now tell me that if that relationship, the relationship scattered before anything will happen. And I if I tell you the extent I went to, calmly and nicely. Now let me say something. Now this guy now gets married as a virgin because he saw somebody he wanted to. By 26 he didn't really have anything. And then he's no Nigerian factor and all. And then he saw this girl he wanted to marry at 26 and decided to double his hustle. And then by 27, 28, he found his footing. Those things that did not push him. He didn't have to drive. And then by 28, he now comes out and says he's getting married to this girl. And he has known her since he was 26. But he now had to double his hustle and all. And then somebody will now come and drop these voice notes and tell me that my son does not have he's not a man. He cannot do customer care because he doesn't have see.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Because this is what they are passing out to boys. You will have me to contend with.
I feel like maybe some Nigerian men find it very difficult to believe that there are some other men who do not, I mean, maybe their relationship or their perception of women generally is different. And it's not even necessarily very toxic like that. You know, some people just feel like, every man must be very female attention centered. There are some men who have the capacity to just withdraw from everything women. Because, Linus, you were talking about how he didn't approach any women. It doesn't have to be fixation.
If at the end of the day, the man is ready and the woman is no longer available,
then he will move on. As I said, the development he did at the end of the day, who did the development pay?
Of course, it's him.
Is it not him? So you think as a mother, I will want my child,
at the end of the day,
I will want my son to be going up and down with girls, or I want my daughter to be excuse me,
it's all right.
My biological children or spiritual children, don't even try that one with me.
But at the end of the day, he still didn't get the girl.
All right. Let's take some other comments here. Adeoluwa, I even wanted to say a lot, but I think I'm going to present that for later. Adeoluwa from Ikeja says, "Good afternoon, ladies. I do respect women, but I feel the women Olaoluwa is talking about who are willing to carry responsibility are the older women." No. We'll get to that. Because I don't think the upcoming generation is willing to go through that route. I respect older women who are willing to make sacrifices for their family. I don't think I've seen a lady in this generation who is willing to think on that level. That's why people think Nigerian girls only want to collect money. I think this rule applies to younger ladies, not older women who have grown in their marriage. And that is Adeoluwa from Ikeja. Okay, Adeoluwa, thank you for your thoughts. Noble lady, you wanted to say something?
Yes.
To that?
I think it just skipped my mind.
Yeah. I'm going to get to what I want to say. Then, when you say women of this generation,
exactly.
What generation? Maybe you want to be more specific. Maybe because I'm guessing you're talking about maybe Gen Zs.
Is it millennials?
You're talking about millennials because millennials are kind of still of this generation. I mean, millennials are still like in their 30s and stuff. A number of millennials are still unmarried and they are still dating, and So my own is that so I talked about the women in the market. Some of these Abuja men that they claim are collecting money. I mean, they are targeting women to depend on them financially. Which women do you think? Because I've heard there was a even I've heard young women as well.
It's young women
talk about these things as well.
Yes.
And it's because even Abuja is even labeled like that. In this Lagos as well, if you hear stories, if you hear women, young women who have invested in men.
Yeah.
You're going to
and that's why you see all of this talk about Nigerian girls just
how many Nigerian girls
it's very disrespectful.
No, that's my question is how many Nigerian girls?
It's very disrespectful.
Do you know I have a friend who had an issue with a guy, right? They were dating and all. It was when the thing now busted. We now carried calculator, paper and barrel to write investment. The money this girl would have used to build house, she was giving it to this guy. And the thing is that because some guys have this skewed mentality, they know how to collect money. I'm going for a contract today. I want to do this business. I need to extend funds.
I want to
borrow this. Before she know what happened, this girl, this I'm talking about is as at 4 years ago. If she did not give this guy money, she gave him about 15 million. That was before this exchange rate drop and everything. If she did not give him money from the calculation, it was 15 million. And this same guy,
what did he do with it?
Nothing. We can't even say. And this same guy will be the one that will go on social media to start typing, women do not support their home. You too. You not see that scene? Go and do likewise.
It's because they don't want to do. That's why the criticism is on the high. But it's all right. I'm going to move on to the next one. Adeoluwa from Ikeja, thank you for your contribution. We've got another voice note here. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Olado, I'm ladies of the dish. Okay, so I hope this gets to you guys. I'm a regular listener. You know, if you get to read this, listen to this voice note, then it'll be the first time that I'm getting through.
Wow.
You know, I just like to say that we should, and of course this is my opinion, that we should stop speaking about women as though they are objects, you know, as you speak of a bag or of a shoe. Like anything that happens to a woman, it's the man. If a man marries 5 women, and they are suffering, it's the man's fault, you know, like these women are people, you know, they're just complete like a man, you understand, with a spirit, mind, soul and body, you know, and with intelligence, with cognition, just like the man, you know, they're equal. They're not, one is not above the other. So if a man marries 5 women, and then it cannot be the man. So what is the role of the women in all of it? You know, so women are not handbags or shoes. They're people. Okay, they're people who have the ability to try to cost for themselves, to get for themselves, to live for themselves, and to be themselves, you know, whatever that self is for them as they interpret it. Yes, and of course men are there to do their own thing as well. So if a feet gets into a shoe and it sits properly in it, it's because the shoe is its size. Yes? All right, thank you. You guys are doing a great job. Conversation is usually very vibrant and interesting.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. I mean, everything you said, of course, is true. But do we really talk about women like their handbags? Because I've been trying to replay that. Because like there was a time I said it that personally, polygamy, I don't totally have a problem with polygamy. I mean, people have a right to choose. So when you find one thing I respect is polygamy, consensual polygamy. Because a number of times, one of the reasons why I even refer to polygamy once in a while when conversations like this happen is that a number of the polygamous relationships we have in today are not consensual. Like the women in those relationships were not looked into the polygamy from the onset. You know, a number of the women in those polygamous relationships are not comfortable.
Do we say a lot or some?
A lot.
I said a number. I keep saying a number. Whether it's a lot, whether it's the majority or not, but I know that a number of the women are not. A number of them were
coerced
or even, I mean, they were deceived into the,
or they were shamed into it,
into the structure. And of course, do they have a right to leave or not? Yes, because they are whole human being, they have a right to leave. Like, you have a right to leave a cheating man. You have a right to leave. But if you look at some of the situations where they've now roped themselves in, it's not usually
it's not that easy to
and
go.
Considering how things have now become, it's not always as easy as we say. It's just like when you have a woman in a let's say a woman in a DV situation. Yes, she probably contributed to, at some point there must have been something. Maybe she saw the red flag, but she's now in the situation now, which was not what she envisaged from the very beginning.
She was going to change
sometimes
him.
Despite
sometimes
it is not as
married, and then the man comes up with the idea of getting a second wife. So in that case, now you didn't consent to
it. But there are a number of women who have now had to accept it, who have now had to, and that's a decision. It's their decision, but in a if you look at it holistically, it's not as fair as it should be.
It's not fair at all.
It's not as fair, and that's why. So it's when we talk about men, multiple women, it's not because we feel like women are just a handbag that men can pick. Yes, but if you ask a number of women who are in such relationships, or a number of them today, they will tell you, and whether or not I'm correct or not, there's a possibility that there's somebody who literally knew that, this person might not totally be, this is not what we planned, this is not what this person, but because I'm smart, or because this one massages my ego. When certain things happen, sometimes there are parties who may or may not have intentionally entered into that kind of a situation at that point in time. So I just wanted to put that out there. But let me take some more contributions. Okay, this is Jaja Olalua. When the United States landed on the moon. Wow.
Jaja,
I'm loving this angle. When the United States landed on the moon, they put their flag on the moon to show that they were the first to get there. As a man, when you see a fine woman, we're quickly moving to toast her, whether we have money or not, before another guy will come and claim territory and deprive us from having her. That's why no matter what you ladies are preaching, the guy fall our hand. There is danger. I had to read this as clearly. There is a danger in using money to convince a woman to marry you. Now, I am speaking from personal experience. One of my uncles married a woman who works in a bank where he banks with. He was sure the lady has access to seeing his account details. She knew how much it was worth. Later in the marriage, the lady did all she could in getting a divorce and cutting away with his money and property. So how do you now expect me to see women? Will you blame me? Now, you're already seeing
from your skewed view that is negative based on your uncle's, and the funny thing, and that is unfair in the bank. Majority of Nigerian women even say that in the bank is not everybody that sees everybody's account statement. I think we should clear it up, because that you may be working in the bank. I know you're working in this bank, and the next thing I just come and meet you and say, please let me go and check this account statement of this person. You'll be like,
but sometimes they have access. But that's not even the angle I'm saying. This, I think men, or some men, don't want to, get over the fact that this guy didn't make that money just to get the girl, but for himself. I think they're still holding on to that fact that he got the money, he made that money just to come for her. They're not seeing it that he wants to just upgrade himself before getting into that relationship.
Yeah, I think the
only reason why I would believe that he got that, is probably a same, or he bought, is if all the money he has made since he met the girl and he decided he should go and make money, if he has spent all the money on the girl,
then on that
but if we investigate, there's a very high chance that that's probably even not the case.
That's not the case.
Other obviously. Lady talking about women as being seen as objects and all that. One thing again I would say is that sometimes marriage limits women in terms of making decisions. As a single lady, you have yourself, you can make decisions by yourself, and you can execute these plans yourself. But the moment you get married, it's not just you. And most times the men dominate. Most times it is what they want. We had a story like this about I think the pastor saying the wife wanted to study medicine abroad.
Okay,
and
okay,
then,
yeah, I
you
heard
know,
that thing
he
on
had to
social
tell
media.
her to go online to study that online
Because she's married
because
now
she's
and she has to
married.
physically
and
be
then
with
she
him.
had to do it.
No, and then he now made a statement that she's doing the medicine in Egbeda or something.
Yeah.
Like I know he made
She
one
also was
derogatory
saying that,
statement.
is it that the women, they don't have a role to play after getting married, to a man that already has other wives? Can't you do one or two things on yourself? But we should also know that some men don't also allow their women to work. They don't allow their women to do things that would upgrade them. Some men feel this inferiority complex that they don't want their women to even do better.
Should I even say something? Do you know my mom went back to school after I was done with first degree? And when she was going for the GCE classes, then that's when they used to do GCE classes, right? I don't know if they still do it. When she was going for the GCE classes and my dad came to the house and wanted to scatter the house, you know what she just told him?
He didn't buy that idea.
He didn't buy the idea. You know what she just told him? She said it was Chizoba that got the form and got the school for me.
Because you're grown.
Minus the fact that I'm grown. I'm the first daughter that is a first daughter.
Yeah,
everybody will stay in their place, and then I was grown.
Mm-hmm.
So immediately she said that, my father could not say anything. That is how my mother was able to go to school today, and she has a master's because she had a backup. So a lot of those women in those marriages, they need their children to grow, and then they also need their children to not just grow, but their children should be intentional. They should look inwards, not just say that is how my mother cope and you must cope, but to find out, okay, what exactly is this dream that this person has, and how can I help the person to achieve
it, right?
that dream.
All right, back to more messages now. There is another voice note here that we need to quickly take. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, ladies. Hamza from Cardiff here. My own is, what if the chick had been swooped up by another guy while this guy was busy trying to, and just, I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong, but what if in a bid to step up his game, he lost the catch? You get me?
He'll find another one.
I mean, in my time when I was still on the streets, if I see a chick way past me, man, I go at least initiate one kind of conversation. You get me? Until I find way where I go feed me top, if that makes sense.
All right, thank you, Hamza. I think for men,
I think men are hunters.
No, hold on.
Men have always been hunters.
This is one thing that I think some men need to realize, that there's no one size fit all strategy for getting a woman.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe this is your style, but it doesn't mean that anyone that is not adopting this style
is wrong,
is a simp,
or is wrong, or
he has no self-esteem,
or is not complete as a man.
You know what I'm saying?
And that doesn't even mean that this said guy has not approached a lady he has seen for the very first time.
You get what I'm saying? The issue I have with a number of Nigerian men criticizing him is that they are just calling him a simp, saying he's buying. Okay, so if you would rather, first of all, approach a lady that you feel like, is above your whatever that is, that's fine. If you think that's the smart thing to do. Because, okay, what if this lady had married somebody else? Then you'll find someone else.
No. Then apart from that one, I always say something. The upgrading he upgraded. Who is reaping the fruit of the upgrading
now?
Because let me tell you the truth. If you worked really hard to maintain a particular lifestyle, you wouldn't want to lose that lifestyle.
All right.
You want to keep going up.
One more for the road before we call it a day. Chidi from Oshode says, when I was in school, girls were flashing headlamp. They even gang up against me, but I kept avoiding them because I didn't have money for any relationship. Relationship needs money, especially long term. And Ekem says, good afternoon, ladies. Concerning the guy that stepped up financially to get a lady, you guys have made a lot of good points. However, the problem with that approach is that looking at a specific standard of money can make a man or woman to waste time or miss a good spouse. Standards that do not align with the wisdom of God for a person per time can be counterproductive. But how do we know that does not align with the wisdom of God?
Were
for
you there
him?
when God was giving him his goal and his life and his plan a big goal plan for?
I agree with you, Kems, but then you said let God guide our standard before we injure ourselves. The thing is that, do you even know what God's standard for a man is? Not for him not to show up well.
Yeah.
To a woman, it's not. You have to
come correct.
It's not for him to show up. It's for him to come correct. If you look at some of the fathers of faith in the Bible and see the way they came to approach the girls, look at Jacob, the way his uncle was. His uncle.
Yes, now.
Abraham sent his servant to go. You should see the
for Isaac. Even Jacob that went with only staff and clothes. He got to the well. They closed the well. The guy didn't have money, but he had what? He had influence. He opened the well, let the cattle drink. After the cattle finish drinking, why wouldn't the girl fall in love with him? The guy came correct. See, I used to say something. I think females, before you get married, for the single ones, please go to the Bible, open the Bible, remove the glasses, read the Bible, and tell the Holy Spirit to interpret it to you. You will know that even somebody like Abraham came very correct.
Of course.
All right, ladies, it is time for us to go. Thank you all for being a part of the conversation today. Both people who agreed with us and people who didn't agree with us. Thank you so much. I mean, the conversation has been great
Very
because we have you listening. Thank you so much. And thank you for your comments as well. Noble Lady Trish, Chizoba, it's time to go.